The latest. Thank you for love and support. I appreciate you all. The message of AES is spreading not only on the soil of Africa, but to our brothers in the diaspora. Now we have our brothers in the diaspora also coming to join Captain Ibrahim Traore for us to continue with this fight. People are still sitting here in Africa and still do not know why we are fighting. And that is why we have people who sit here and be naming our heroes. Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goita, and Abdurrahman Chiani. These people have beautiful names to them because the oppressor has given these names to these people, and we sit behind not knowing why, and we buy into the names and we think that these names didn't fit them because we still do not understand why we're supposed to have freedom. This our brother gave us a powerful message, and he's telling us what we have to do. Africans will sit here and all we say is we want freedom. And that is what these people, the politically elected, always sit down to say, that they want freedom. Their last summit, they were talking about reparation, how they need to pay Africa. But we are not ready to move out of the systems that these people have created. And he said something, that until we separate ourselves from these people, we'll never get to where we want to be. And that is the truth. Africans should be ready to separate ourselves from the system these people have created. That these people gave us religion. And this religion is a tool by the oppressor to make sure that you, the African, you never rise up. And that is why these people will come into their continent. When you need books to study, they'll be giving you Bible, they'll be giving you Quran, telling us that we have to sit here, pray. And when we die, finally we inherit a place called heaven, where we'll go and walk on gold. Yet the gold that is on the soil of Africa, these people do not want to leave that gold for us.
And the future belongs to you and me. It belongs to black people. It belongs to Africa. Africa is on the rise, but the enemy is wicked. And understand that even as we're having this conversation, he is in his laboratories. He is in his military camps. And he is plotting different ways and means to stop the rise of black people, of Africa. And and we're not saying, in a kind of, in a nice way, understand, family. So what they were doing was that they were putting us in neutral so that we could neither go forward nor backwards. We could make no progress, no movement. And under those circumstances, this is the last thing in the world that they ever expected to see black people in the condition that we're in today. Still, we rise. And so that's why every leader that comes up who is for us, be it Patrice Lumumba, whether it was Muammar Gaddafi, whether it was Kwame Nkrumah, it didn't matter, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, everyone cut down. Cut down. I think they've made at least 19 attempts thus far on the life of Ibrahim Traore. This is a demon that you're dealing with here. But the colonization of Africa was another level of destruction. Both sides were destroyed. You see? And it's now time for us to realize, family, that the only way that we're going to solve this problem is when we appreciate who we are dealing with, and the solution is separation. See, this is why Ibrahim Traore and the other brothers in the Sahel region, this is why they represent such an important development in what's taking place today. Because they're separating themselves. Have you noticed how quickly they can make progress when they separate, when they take themselves away from the enemy? But as long as we have all of these politicians and all of these religious people who are all wrapped up. Imagine being a preacher today, where you have to get a license from the enemy to be a preacher. He has to qualify you. Imagine we're going into these colleges and these universities, and they may have a black name on them, but at the end of the day, the scholarship and or the curriculum, all of it comes from the Caucasian world. Just think about that. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked the question one day. It's such a beautiful question. He said, if a man won't treat you right, what makes you think that same man will teach you right? How is it that you and I have been introduced to religion by this same man who would keep us in bondage for 400 years and destroy us as a human reality, commit genocide in the Congo, commit genocide all over the continent, destroy us in the Caribbean, work us from can't see morning to can't see night for hundreds of years with no pay, deny us the ability to read or write for hundreds of years because Henry Berry, one of their senators in America, boasted, listen to the boast of the white man, we have cut off every avenue of light to the mind of the Negro. We have cut off every avenue of light to the mind of the Negro. Do you know what that means? If you cut off light, in other words, knowledge, wisdom, understanding from going into the mind of a human being, then you are creating an entity which is pure, unadulterated ignorance. And this is where you and I were put by this enemy, not by accident, but by design. Even when one of our professors was talking earlier on, and he was talking about the transgenerational trauma, if we're not careful, and you know, we were talking about, they were saying how it affects the white man as well. Well, yeah, to some degree, that's true. However, it is not for you and me to now be sympathizing with the enemy about the ill effects of his own evil on himself. That's on him. What we've got to focus on is the ill effect on us and how that trauma has to be relieved and how black people have to be freed up now to be ourselves. Brothers and sisters, we are a righteous people by nature. We are godly by nature. See, the black man and the black woman, we have a highly developed conscience. You know that it's really difficult for black people to do evil with impunity and not to be cognizant of the fact of what we're doing. The more we associate with the enemy, the less cognizant of what we do we are. The more we become steeped in that. There's a scripture that says we're born in sin, shaped in iniquity. Now, some people, they hear that, oh, they think he's talking about sex. Stop it. Born in sin means born into a world that's based in sin. Theft, murder, rape, you name it. This is this world that you and I live in today. And the same people who are the number one perpetrators of these evils, these are the people that you and I are looking to give us education or to give us culture or to give us a way of life. And they boast about their Western world and how wonderful it is. And so many of us, all we want to do is get to Britain. All we want to do is get to America. All we want to do is get to Australia. Really? Well, family, let me tell you something. I've lived here for well over 50 years, born on the island of Jamaica. And I can tell you, especially to my African brothers and sisters, you see where you are there? That is absolute paradise. Paradise. And you are standing on land which is so rich. You see, and that's why he wants you to run out of there. And guess where he's going to be going? He's running in. That's why he's trying to run all the time into the Middle East. That's why he's trying to run all the time into South America. because where the indigenous people are, these are the best areas of the planet. And so, you know, family, let me conclude, because I've got so much to say, so much to share in truth, but there isn't the time to really go through what needs to be gone through. But I just wanted to touch a few points so that if there are any, you know, follow-ups or questions, that we can deal with it on that level. But suffice to say, brothers and sisters, you know, in the Nation of Islam, we have a study, and that study is called Self-Improvement, the Basis for Community Development. Self-improvement, the basis for community development. And how that translates is that, family, every single one of us, I don't care how highfalutin we are, what we think we know, you know, we should take a look at self. Don't look at the other person. Don't point the finger over there or over there. Let's look at ourselves and appreciate that if we as an individual can improve, automatically the society improves. This is how we change what's going on in this world today, by self-improvement, which is the basis for the community development and the societal development and the nation development and the world development. That's how we do it. We spend far too much time trying to change the world and change everybody else, while we ourselves are the problem. I have to say this to you about this white man that some of us love so much. But understand this. There are 193 countries that are recognized by the United Nations. 193 countries. Britain, this country where I live right now, has been to war with 177 of them. Who is the troublemaker on the planet? Who is the bloodshedder on the planet? Because like I said, I know some of us, we just love, you know, the English gentleman. By the way, you see I'm wearing the bow tie, I'm wearing the suit. So some of you say, well, how are you criticizing the white man, but you're dressed like the white man? Really? Again, this is why we need to know history. Because when we as Africans were dressing in clothing, when we were wearing silk, when we had underfloor heating in a civilization in Egypt and in other parts of the African continent, that civilizations that were at that time in a decline. The Caucasian, the white man, was still in the hills and cave sides of Europe, grunting, covered in hair as a caveman. This is actual facts and reality. Do your research, do your studies.
Congo has never known peace for centuries. And Congo is still suffering because of the gold, the mineral resources that are on earth, that these people preach to us that we should not have interest in that one. We should leave that one, and when we die, we'll inherit the one that they have discovered on wherever it is, we don't know. That the systems that these people have created that we always talk about, until we are able to separate ourselves from these systems, we'll never move forward. We talked about these people not respecting the African. And we sit here expecting that these same people that do not respect us will treat us right. Let's look at what happened when the Queen died in England and leaders went. Everybody was treated specially except the African leader. The moment they arrived, even the name they've given to them wasn't suitable. They have to get them a bus and pack them into that same bus. Yet they did none to any other leader that came from the world. And that these people introduce us to religion. They strip us off of everything. And he quoted one of the yellow people who said that they've succeeded in taking life out of we the Africans. They've succeeded in making sure we never know who we are. We are not able to read and write. We do not know our values, our culture. They've taken everything that is of human out of we the African. And that is why till date, we still sit here defending the things that these people are using to destroy us. Africans still do not understand who we are. And that is why till date, these people use us against our own heroes who have risen to sacrifice their lives to get us the freedom that we want. These people made sure that you, the African, will never rise up in any aspect. They have totally succeeded in bringing darkness all over the African. And that is why we have not been able to think outside of what the white person has given to you, the black person. And that's why sometimes when I call Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Assimi Goïta, Abdurrahmane Chiani, and Ibrahim Traore, the savior, the protectors, the unifiers, the comforters, the messiahs, I get people in my comment section telling me Jesus Christ is the only King of Kings. Who says so? I am not a follower of Christ. I am an African who sees my heroes as the people who are there doing everything possible to give me the freedom. In the name of Jesus Christ, Africans have been suppressed, looted, and it's still happening till date. These are systems that these people have kept in place to make sure you, the black person, don't ever rise up. Those of us who had the opportunity to travel to the Cape Coast Castle, we've seen that where the female dungeon is was where the church, on top of it, was where the church is. And look at the atrocities that they've committed to we the blacks. Is it Congo, the genocide worldwide? These people can never teach us what they call morals. They've decided that everything of us that is of the African, they will make sure they do away with it. And that now that we've seen the Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso separating themselves from these people, we have seen the tremendous improvement, the development, the projects that they are doing that those under the political umbrellas are not able to do. Because you can never be under their systems and move ahead. They kept those systems in place to control you, to put you wherever they want you to be. And it is a call, a wake-up call to all Africans to rise up and unite and fight this battle of injustice. The reparation we are sitting in our summit asking for, the same summit that these people sponsor, will never get us anywhere. The speeches that we give every blessed year will never get us anywhere. The best thing that we can do to get the freedom that we are looking for is to separate ourselves from anything that is not of the African. Any leader that will come will have to praise how well they have been able to keep democracy. Democracy is a system that these people are using to set Africa backwards. So if you have lived in a democratic country for years, you have not gotten any achievement. And that is why your country hasn't improved and hasn't been able to do anything significant, because this democracy is a system from the white person. Yellow Papa can never give you anything that will make you self-sufficient. Democracy, religion will never get Africans anywhere. These are systematic systems these people have kept in place. And this is beautiful. We have to all come together, unite as a people, rise up and support our heroes. And let us understand that all these things that were given to us by the oppressor are there for their own good. And that is why today, when we are supposed to be thinking forward, Africans are thinking backwards. All that matters to us now is for us to die and inherit a place called heaven. If truly there is a place that is heaven, that the white man has discovered, he will never tell you, the black person. Just look at even their countries on earth, that you, the black person, want to travel there. How is it? Do they allow you? No. Even those who are there, they are doing everything possible to take them out. So is it heaven that they discovered that they will tell you? A place they walk on gold? I think we really need to separate ourselves. If truly we are looking for freedom, we should know that anything that came from them was never meant for us. King Leopold made it clear. And It's high time we fight and separate ourselves and be free, because everything black is beautiful. The heroes, your kings, are those who are fighting this injustice world with their lives to get us the freedom that we deserve. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing and educating our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. And in the United States of America,